Hello, everybody, and welcome to We Talk Live with Lisa. Happy International Women's Day to everybody who is watching live or on recorded. It's a great day for us to do this broadcast. I'm super excited. We have Rechie Valdez with us, who is the MP for Mississauga, Streetsville, and she's our mystery reader for the month. And the book this month was This Little Trailblazer by, oh, you have it right there. Excellent. By Joan Halhoub. And Rechie, I'll keep going with the introduction, is quite a trailblazer. I worked with Rechie many years ago in corporate banking when she worked there. And she's now a friend of mine. She's an entrepreneur, owned her own business, hosts her own TV show, done a number of careers. She's an extraordinary baker and a mother of two with Kyle and Cassidy. So welcome, Rechie. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank
How
you
are
for
you?
having me, and happy International Women's Day to Lisa and all the amazing women that we watch.
Yes, we have, we like to say, our 950 plus providers, 70 or so home visitors, agency supervisors, all kinds of moms and parents that are part of the We Watch family. And in fact, Rechie, you used We Watch for childcare early on when your kids were young, correct?
Exactly. Shout out to Munmun. You were amazing. You took care of Kyle once upon a time when I used to live downtown, and that was very valuable for me, just as a secondary option. I remember like traveling with him on the subway every
Yeah.
day. So it was great to have We Watch there for me at the time.
Excellent. So thank you so much for joining us. We really loved, I've had a chance to look at your reading of this book, This Little Trailblazer, and it's such a great reading you did. So thank you for that. With your daughter Cassidy, who joined in as well. So it was wonderful. She was just looking at you with those adoring eyes. We all kind of look up to inspirational women in our lives. And I think for many children, their mom is their first love and inspiration. So it's a wonderful thing to see. So again, the book is This Little Trailblazer. How did you like the book, Rechie?
You know what? I had a fun time reading it with Cassidy. Number one, it's so colorful. I would just hold it up. Like you could see just how colorful it is. Really easy to read. And what I love about it is just the fact, like, as you're kind of going through the book, you're learning about all these amazing women in our history. I even
Mm-hmm.
learned a few names that are new to me. I knew half, and then half were all new. So I love the fact that we are sharing stories about women who have preceded us and have done amazing things and who have trailblazed different paths for each one of us to
Mm-hmm.
aspire to. I think that was lovely.
Yeah, it really is. I learned a lot too from the book when I read it as well. So it is very inspirational. You know what we are doing with the book as well this whole month in our childcare homes is teaching boys and girls. It's not just about the girls to really dream without limits and think about how to be inspired to follow your dreams. And this book is a great way to start it. Why do you think it's important for us to inspire children to dream without limits?
I think that statement of dreaming without limits is really important because I grew up and I had a very limited scope of what was possible. And it's only, I would say, within the last 10 to 15 years where once I started to see examples of women and individuals doing it, that's when I said to myself, okay, like, what can I do? And it's really seeing the examples, especially in particular representation in
Mhm.
different areas. I don't know, different cultures grow up in, you know, your parents kind of teach you to be a certain way or like live a certain way. And I think
Mhm.
it's important for girls and boys to think bigger and expand their imagination because it's really when you connect that with your passion that you're able to really kind of put something forward and follow it and follow your dreams.
Yeah, it's excellent. Yeah, really good idea. I mean, I think you're a great example of following your dreams. You've taken a number of different paths from, a really traditional corporate path to then following your own dreams as an entrepreneur, opening up a bakery and a baking business. What inspired you, I guess, maybe later in life to take these risks, I guess, and try things that were really your passion?
Really great question. It kind of goes right back to what I was saying before. I was so creative when I was really young, and
Hmm.
to be honest, I didn't really have that type of support that I really needed. And so I reconnected to my creative passion, which was kind of bottled up for many, 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 many years. It was when I baked Cassidy's first birthday cake where
Mhm.
I connected to that passion again, and that's what inspired me to open my first business. So I'm a self-taught baker. So everything that you see is me just kind of throwing myself and obsessing over baking and falling in love with it.
Amazing. Excellent. So when you read through the book, what was Cassidy's favorite part of the book? Was there anything in particular that stood out for her?
So I didn't realize this, but she gravitated to Coco Chanel. So
Oh, that's
I know.
amazing.
I was like, I don't know, something about that. She was really taken aback by her
Yeah.
story. So I think that was her favorite portion amongst others. I love the book overall. Again, you learn a lot from it just from reading it. And it's a children's book. So shout out to the authors who wrote something that was able to be told to children. I think that's really
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, it really is. And was there any what female trailblazer inspired you? Either someone in this book or maybe otherwise.
I really love Oprah. So I grew up watching Oprah and just admiring her dedication to telling people stories. It's also
Mhm.
the reason why I eventually created my own TV show. I saw she was the perfect example of someone that did something that has never existed before, but she's made
Right.
it this unbelievable career. And now she's just, on top of the world.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I think it is so important. I think to what you said earlier, just to have role models that and access to role models that are varied and where people can see their own reflection and their own, themselves in somebody that's famous. And I think the world is finally waking up to having more representation in Hollywood and in books and in a lot of things. And so I think it's really important. And then it's also breaking down those biases, right? And so ensuring that as parents and as childcare providers, that we really don't limit what children want to be or what they want to do. And so we have some activities this month that are focusing on that, really taking away those biases and showing kids that they could be anything, right? A woman can be a fire person, and so on and so on. There it doesn't have to be so linear in terms of what we think. It's exciting.
Exactly, and it's perfectly aligned to the theme for International Women's Day, which is break the bias. So I
That's right.
love that that's exactly what you're focusing on because we really need to have people. It's really about being open to the universe and all the different things, and having those opportunities open and asking, putting your hand up, asking questions, be explorative, be imaginative. Like that's what kids really need these days.
Yeah, right, exactly. And for boys and girls, right? And again, that's what I loved about the theme for International Women's Day today is about removing that bias, and it goes both ways, right? So boys are also kind of put in a little box sometimes by other people, and so even though it's International Women's Day, we want everybody to kind of have that equal opportunity to dream without limits, as we talked about earlier. And so I was thinking about, the book's called Little Trailblazers. And since you're a big trailblazer, if you think back to little Rechie, yourself when you were young, what advice would you give yourself looking back now?
If I had the opportunity to speak to little me, in some ways I do get to do it with Cassidy.
Hmm.
Um, is just reminding myself how much she's loved and valued. And I would say that, just be yourself, it's enough. I think the key message of you're enough, you're loved is really, really important. And then finally, believe in yourself. Like if I
Yeah.
could just say those words to little me, it would be that.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. I would say similar things to myself, I think, too. It is really, as a little girl, not so confident. And so thinking about, International Women's Day, it's a great piece of advice to yourself and to lots of other women. Any other thoughts on either International Women's Day, on the book before we wrap up?
Yeah, actually, I just want to give a shout out. So, for those of you that don't know Lisa Parisi as well as I do, I want to give you a special shout out for just being a phenomenal woman leader. And you do that by helping you help me from my career in corporate, but even along the way as I kind of continued in my journey, you were always there to support me with whether it was my business, always reaching out and saying, "Good job, Richie." Like to me, that really helped me along the way to have someone who was advocating That's something that's so important. So having those people around you that are just positive, that's what I want. So for anyone listening, surround yourself with really great people, good vibes. That's the way that we're going to get through this, because sometimes things are challenging and sometimes things are really hard, and we need someone to advocate for us. So thank you, Lisa, for being a tremendous leader.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, one of the things I love to do is to definitely mentor people and, help prop people up. And you're easy to do it with. So again, congratulations for, all that you've achieved. I don't know if I said it earlier or not. Rechie's the first female Filipina woman in as a member of parliament. So congratulations.
Thank you.
A really big feat. And so you should be proud. And as a mom and all the other things you've achieved, be proud. And thank you again from all of We Watch for doing being our mystery reader this month, and for the great job. If everyone wants to see Rechie's reading of the book, it'll be available in Facebook Live in our Facebook feed very shortly. So thanks for giving us some time today. You can return to Parliament now. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and enjoy the book. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.